Spring break 2015, Big Sur, California. He walked into the forest behind the cabin with nothing but a flashlight. They found his phone recording, but not him. And when they played the audio, there were 2 sets of footsteps, but only one voice. Logan Pratt was a senior at Oregon State. He wasn't the spring break type, more into photography and wilderness retreats. So when he invited his younger sister Eva and 3 of their friends to a secluded rental cabin in Big Sur, they expected quiet hikes and starry nights. Not what actually happened. The cabin was remote, no neighbors for miles, no cell service. The host left a note in the welcome binder. If you hear music coming from the woods after midnight, do not follow it. Lock the doors, leave the forest alone. They thought it was a joke. Logan even laughed and said, "I hope it's a rave." On their 3rd night, the generator cut out at midnight. They used candles and flashlights. Around 12:40 a.m., Eva heard music outside, soft, melodic, almost like a music box. Logan grabbed his camera and said he wanted to check it out. 5 minutes tops. They waited. 15 minutes passed. Then 30. Then his phone rang. No caller ID, but it was Logan's ringtone. Eva answered. It was just wind, and faintly the same music. Logan's phone was found the next day by park rangers 20 feet off the main trail, battery dead, but his last recording was intact. A 6-minute voice memo titled, "I'm not alone. The first minute is normal." Logan narrates his steps, saying he hears a bells or maybe a piano. Then he pauses. "Oh wait, I'm not alone. Someone else is walking. His breathing grows shallow. Who's there? Silence, okay, you can stop messing with me." Then running, heavy breathing, but there are clearly 2 sets of footsteps. At 5:12 he screams, "It's copying me and it's copying everything I do." Then silence. At 5:47, the recording ends with the sound of the same lullaby music and something whispering. It always chooses the one who walks alone. Eva refused to return to the cabin. Police and rangers searched the woods for weeks. No remains, no signs of struggle. The owner of the rental deleted the listing and refused interviews. A year later, Eva posted a clip of the audio to Reddit. Several users claimed they heard a 3rd voice layered faintly over Logan's, a voice mimicking him in delay. One user wrote, "That's not an echo, that's a rehearsal." Logan Pratt's body was never found, but his voice still echoes online, and some believe the forest kept him because he listened to the music. Spring break 2018, Miami, Florida, she ordered an Uber. It arrived. She got in, but she never made it to her destination, and the man driving insists she was never there. Chloe Hammond was visiting Miami for spring break with her cousin Danny. On their 2nd night after clubbing on Ocean Drive, Chloe called an Uber around 2:18 a.m. They were staying in different hotels, so they split up. Danny watched her get into a black Toyota Corolla. Everything seemed normal until Chloe never arrived at her hotel. Danny called Chloe, but it went straight to voicemail. She contacted Uber, who claimed no ride had ever been ordered under Chloe's account. The last activity on her phone was a text she typed to Danny but never sent. "This guy's not taking me the right way. His GPS is turned off." Police tracked the plate from security footage. The driver, Andrew Keller, insisted Chloe had never been in his car. But here's the twist. The GPS log showed the route he took matched the ride Chloe requested, a 17-minute drive that ended in a construction site. The biggest clue came when Danny hacked a backup dash cam Chloe had given her months earlier, a tiny one she clipped onto her bag strap for safety. The footage showed Chloe inside the car. The driver was silent, never looked at her. But at the 12-minute mark, the car stopped. And from the darkness, another Chloe opened the door, same face, same dress, but her expression was wrong, blank, like she was sleepwalking. The first Chloe stares in horror. "Oh, are you?" The second Chloe just whispers, "I got there first." Then the footage cuts out. The case remains unsolved. Some think Chloe was abducted by a trafficker who impersonated her ride. Others believe she hallucinated, though no drugs were found in her system. But a deep dive thread on a dark Reddit sub showed something chilling. 5 women, 5 cities, 5 years, each vanished after getting into a car. Each ride matched her Uber request. Each disappearance logged at 2:18 a.m., and in every case, dashcam footage captured two identical versions of the missing girl. They call it the 2:18 anomaly, and if you see someone who looks exactly like you getting into your ride, don't follow them, because one of you might not come back. Spring Break 2019, Panama City Beach, Florida. Spring break was supposed to be the highlight of our college years until one of us vanished from a locked motel room. And the only clue she left behind, a chilling voicemail never meant to be heard. Spring Break 2019. 5 of us drove down from Knoxville to Panama City Beach. Me, Rachel, my best friend Lily, her boyfriend Trevor, his cousin Marcus, and Shelby, a quiet girl from our dorm floor who tagged along last minute when one of our other friends dropped out. Shelby was sweet, soft-spoken, and almost awkwardly polite, but seemed grateful to be included. We checked into a dingy motel 2 blocks from the beach, room 313, the kind of place that smelled like bleach and cigarettes even though the sign said non-smoking. The clerk was a man in his 60s with yellowed teeth and a voice like crushed gravel. When he handed us the keycards, he paused and said, "Don't leave the windows open at night. This part of town gets strange after midnight." We laughed it off. Every beach town has its local color. That night we drank, danced, and stumbled back to the motel at 2:30 a.m. I remember Lily complaining that her phone kept glitching, opening the voice memo app on its own. Trevor said his lock screen wallpaper had changed to a blurry image he didn't recognize. We chalked it up to alcohol and spotty Wi-Fi. At around 4 a.m., I woke to the sound of footsteps in the room. Thought maybe Shelby was heading to the bathroom, but when I opened my eyes, I saw her standing at the foot of my bed, staring, silent. Shelby?" I whispered, "You okay?" She blinked once, then slowly went back to her bed without a word. I told myself she was sleepwalking, but her eyes, they were open. The next morning, Shelby was gone. Her bed looked made. Her suitcase was still there, untouched, but her phone was gone, and so were her shoes. We asked the front desk if they saw her leave. They hadn't. No security footage either. System's been down since last fall, they told us. We called the police, filed a report. They didn't seem concerned. Just another spring breaker who probably took off with some guy. But we knew Shelby. She was shy, careful. She wouldn't just leave without telling someone. That night, we noticed something else. Our phones, every one of them, had a new voicemail from Shelby's number. All time stamped at 3:17 a.m. around the time we think she vanished. None of us wanted to play it first. Finally, Trevor put his on speaker. The message began with static, then Shelby's voice barely above a whisper. "Don't open the window. Don't, please. He says I have to make room. He says I was the 5th. 5's too many. I told him I'd leave. I tried, but he said someone else has to let him in." Then a long silence, faint breathing, and just before the message cut off, a low, distorted voice, impossible to understand, except for the last word. Again, Marcus started digging online, Reddit, obscure forums. He found something buried in a thread about haunted roadside motels. In 2006, a spring breaker named Ellie Martinez disappeared from a Panama City motel, room 313. In 1997, a girl named Dana Cole, same story, gone without a trace, same room number, no windows forced, no evidence of forced entry. All 5 cases, because yes, there were 5, had one strange commonality. A voicemail received hours after the girl vanished, always static, always cryptic, and always from their own phone number. That night, we moved to a new room, but something followed. At exactly 3:17 a.m., I woke to the window rattling, as if someone or something was trying to open it from the outside. The latch held, barely. My phone lit up. No ringtone, just a missed call. Shelby's number. The message was just one sentence. Tell her not to open it. This time it's her turn. I turned to Lily. She was standing by the window, hand on the latch, eyes closed, like she was listening to something only she could hear. I grabbed her arm and yanked her back. She screamed confused, said she thought she heard someone crying outside. We left at dawn, never got our deposit back. The police eventually labeled Shelby's disappearance as a runaway adult case. No leads, no updates. A week later, I checked her voicemail again. The message had changed. Now it was just breathing and the sound of someone knocking softly, rhythmically on glass. I never told anyone about the dream I keep having. I'm standing in that motel room, alone. The window is open, and Shelby's standing outside in the dark asking to be let in. She looks just like I remember, except for her eyes. They're not hers. They say room 313 still takes one girl every few years. Not all disappearances make the news, but some leave behind something far worse than a body. A warning, a voicemail, a voice that says, "It's your turn now." Spring break 2021, Lake Havasu, Arizona, as she sent her mom a photo from the boat party. But when her mom opened it, it wasn't her. It was her phone background, with a woman's face pressed against the inside of the screen. Emma Torres and 3 friends rented a boat on Lake Havasu. Spring break 2021 was full of wild parties, and they spent all day on the water. Emma texted her mom a selfie at 4:42 p.m., just her smiling on the deck. But when her mom opened it, the photo showed no lake, no boat, just a black screen. And the faint, distorted face of a woman, cheeks smashed against glass, eyes wide, mouth slightly open. She assumed it was a glitch, but then Emma stopped responding. The others returned to the dock that evening. Emma wasn't with them. They said she had gone below deck to nap, but when they docked, she was gone. No one had seen her leave. Her phone, shoes, and purse were all below. When police searched the boat, they found Emma's phone with the same image as the selfie. Only now, that woman's face was clearer. Her nose was bleeding, weiming. And someone had set that photo as the phone's lock screen. A digital forensics expert found an odd hidden file on Emma's phone. A corrupted system file titled, "I see you from here JPG." It was a high-res image, time-stamped 1 hour after Emma vanished. The photo? A perfect recreation of Emma's bedroom, except someone was lying in her bed. Not Emma, someone wearing her clothes, smiling, and in the corner of the room, the same woman from the phone. Watching, Emma's mom received one last text from her daughter a week later. Just one sentence: she wants out. The number was deactivated within hours. The photo attachments never loaded. Experts claimed it was a spoofed number. But when police returned to Emma's apartment, they found something disturbing. Her screensaver had changed. It now showed an image taken from inside her closet, looking out. And just barely visible was the reflection of someone else behind her. Screens are supposed to show what's in front of them. But what if, just for a moment, they show something behind you?